So, hope you're enjoying your meal. Just relax, sit back, you take your shoes off if you wish. And start our program out tonight with, we had sat down yesterday with glazed chicken, mushrooms, and all this thing that we had. So we're going to have Imam Elam come up and introduce. So we're going to have Imam Elam to come up and introduce our next guest. So as time permits, pleasure demands, Imam Elam.
Yes, sir.
Come and introduce our
Rahim. With the name of Allah, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Assalamu alaikum. Basically, my introduction of the president of the Mosquitoes is very simple. I used the technique a couple of times, and I like that example. I asked the people, I said, did you, as believers, followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, did you elect Imam Deputy Muhammad to be the leader of the Nation of Islam? How many of you believe that that's what happened? That you elected him as the leader of the Nation of Islam? That's the question I put out there. Well, the Imam Deputy Muhammad was not elected the leader of the Nation of Islam. He was appointed by his father, and we supported him. And Imam Deputy Muhammad, he brought us out of a negative picture, which was not the proper image of Al-Islam, and he brought us into the beautiful picture of Al-Islam, which the Prophet himself had established. And so, when Imam Muhammad, just before he passed, he was the president of the Mosquitoes Ministry of Imam Deputy Muhammad, and his focus was on his ministry and on his charitable work. So before he passed, he appointed his son as the president of the ministry of Imam Deputy Muhammad, doing business as the Mosquito. And so, and also he made him the president and owner of the WDM publication. So the way that we supported his father, we would say, flesh of his flesh and bone of his bone. We trusted Imam Deputy Muhammad, and we was his flesh and bone of his bone, right? And we trusted Imam Deputy Muhammad. Imam Deputy Muhammad trusted his son. And if his father, Deputy Muhammad II, if his father trusted him, then I and you, we trust Imam W.D. Muhammad's son, W.D. Muhammad II. With that, I'd like to bring you the president of the ministry of Imam W.D. Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That is with God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Good evening, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you, and Allah's mercy, choice, blessings, and mercy be on us all. Was everybody enjoying that meal? Yeah. This weekend has been has far reached our expectations, and it's just been so wonderful to see so many faces that I've seen over many years growing up in this community as a young man, close by the side of our leader, Imam W.D. Muhammad, who wasn't your typical leader, as you all know, who followed in his father's footsteps, who was more like a close relative or a concerned loved one that wanted the best for our community and wanted the best for the future life of our community and our home, America, and best for its citizens. and for the world at large, because he always taught us that Muslims should have regards for God first, and secondly, family is God and regardless for the hellfire, and for God, and then family and the family ties. And as you all know, that most of us here are members, family members, extended families that have come up through this history of almost 80 years now, a legacy, and a great legacy that we've had. And we've seen a community come up with the improper understanding and reach its height or its zenith of accomplishments and community aspect, where the Nation of Islam made great achievements as far as big numbers and people having responsibilities in all different walks of life. But that wasn't the end. That wasn't the true promise. That the goal of it was to reach the point where we are here now, a community of believing Muslims, believing all of the books of the Quran and the Bible as partners with the other Abrahamic faiths and as one with humanity. And that now that we've reached this point with the leadership of Imam Muhammad, that people wonder, where's the community going now? Where's our community headed? That I will always reflect back to the life of the community when we saw the height of the progress and where our life was being expressed and our aspirations for community development, where we were thinking about building farms, where if a believer in our community was looking for a job or opportunity for jobs, that they had no further to look than right inside of their own community. And that life or that desire for the complete life of our family being, of the community being expressed, is something that we shouldn't let go. That we shouldn't neglect that. And it's an opportunity now that I see for our community to get back to focus on developing the economic strength and jobs. And we had a program that we launched, that we're trying to launch for the community, Your Products. Many of us are familiar with Your Supermarket, the language taken from Your Supermarket. We all identified with the language of Your. We were taught that the businesses of our community, the businesses in our community were our communities, and they were ours, and they felt personal to us. So we launched this product, this business plan called Your Products, and we have the letters in Your, O-U-R, prominent to also reflect our. So it's Your product, and it's also our product. And it is our hope not to see the things. Many of the members of our community are wondering what is going to become of the community after Imam Muhammad has passed. What happened with his economic programs and his business programs? And are we going to continue that? And I'm here to let you know that the Mosque Cares has continued to maintain the properties, and it's no mistake by any part that Imam Muhammad chose to leave the property, the Mosque Cares building, which is located at 929 West 171st Street there, with no mortgage, no liens. It's an open facility. It's flexible for expansion. And by no mistake did he leave us in such good shape. As we know, when the Nation of Islam, when the former leader of the Nation of Islam, his father, Elijah Muhammad, when he passed, there was a big mess with all of the properties. They were tied up in probate court. And it was no mistake that Imam Muhammad assured that we wouldn't be in those same circumstances. So with the knowledge of that, knowing that the mosque cares has been intact since the passing